Good morning. Welcome to Friday morning's ad-free live stream. I'm super pumped that you're here. My name is Tyler if you're here for the first time, and I'm going to be helping navigate you through the wild world of day trading futures. During these live streams, I'm going to be breaking down live price action, my daily trading bias, and real-time trades to give you a front row seat to all the action. Now, if you're watching after the actual stream, you can jump right to the key moments using the chapter markers below. You'll find the trades that I've taken, along with a detailed explanation on what I was thinking and why. For those of you that are looking to take your trading to the next level, I do have a special discount for you for my community. You can use the code DTJ to get 80% off your next eval to start your own funding journey with Apex. It's 80% off. That makes it about $33 for a 50K account or $29 for a $25,000 account. You can find all those links and codes down in the description for you to check out. We're going to get rocking and rolling here this morning. Let's go ahead and open in prayer. Father, we welcome you to our trading. We welcome you to this journey of becoming a profitable day trader and a multi-million-dollar day trader. Father, we thank you that you've given us the ability to produce wealth. I thank you, Father, that you've given us patience to wait for those A-plus setups. Father, I pray that you give us wisdom beyond our years. And Father, that we would not lust for more, but we would receive what you have for us today. In your name, amen. Good morning. Good morning. Alkai, Josh, Jay, good to have you here this morning. We're going to get rocking and rolling. And yesterday was a crap day. Yesterday was, I'm coining the term a fake PD break. It was a fake PD break day, meaning it never broke the previous day, previous day high or low. You can see on the 5-minute chart right here, here's the previous day high and the previous day low, and it never broke the day before that's low or high. So I'm calling that a fake PD break. And then if we break just one like we did here, that's going to be a single break day. And then if we do both of them, if we run this low, that's going to be a double break day. Now the thing about these, that just doing the numbers, what happened yesterday is only 11% of the time. 11% of the time do we have a fake break day. 77% of the time we break one. 77% of the time we will run either the high or the low of the previous day. This is extremely useful. And then 12% of the time we'll break the high and the low of the previous day. This is extremely helpful to give us an idea of what we can expect as far as where the market is going to go. So we've already broken the previous day high right here. So far we're looking at this as a single break day. If it breaks this high, we still consider this a single break day. We only look at the previous day high and low, and we want to see if it's going to run both the high and the low. Now, I want to strategize based on it being a single break PD day. A single break day. Meaning I'm going to assume we're only going to break this high and we're not going to break this low. So if we do get a run lower, I'm not looking for it to run this low because 77% of the time it's not going to do that. Now, our goal is to learn to anticipate when 12% of the time we do get those double breaks, because those double breaks are great runs that we can capitalize on big moves, right? If we get somewhere here and we're able to capitalize on that, that would be absolutely amazing. But that's not always the case. So we plan on a single break day and we learn to anticipate or strategize on when we expect a double break. Now, one thing I do know is that after you have a fake PD break day, there is a 50% chance that it will run the high and the low of that fake break day. I'm going to be making a video on this, as you can probably guess. So, there's a 50% chance that we will run this low. That's kind of what I'm looking for at this point. Now, the question is, how high are we going to go before we stop? Well, I'm looking at this previous day high from Wednesday, October 23rd. We're right now we're already in October 23rd's opening range gap. This is the remaining portion of the opening range gap that has not been filled yet. And then we have the 23rd new day and 22 and the 22nd new day opening gap sitting all right here. Now, with how much crap we've seen, and today being a no news day as well, today we have no red folder news. So it's going to be one of those days we're going to have to be careful on the decisions we make. We've got to be careful on what plays we want to actually take. So when looking at this, I do like the idea of running this previous day high sitting right here. But we are going to have to give it time in the opening bell to see what kind of reaction we're going to have, because we're going to have a premium opening range gap. That's what we're going to have today, a premium opening range gap, which is going to be very large, to be honest. Here is our new day opening gap that we have already marked for the 25th down here. So you look at the low of this opening day gap, that's 20,383, and we're sitting at 20,500. So we're looking at 125 handles of an opening range gap. We want to see if we can get 50% of that filled. Where does that leave us? Somewhere around this level, these levels, these highs. That's not a coincidence, I believe. You go from this run low to this high, 50% or equilibrium of this entire leg is sitting right around here. So I do like the idea of playing this and seeing if we can get some type of retracement filling that opening range gap. Here in 5 minutes, that's going to be opening. And those are the items that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. So before we take our first on-screen trade, our goal is we need to hit 15 likes. Let's hit 15 likes and we'll be rocking and rolling this morning, okay? How's everybody doing? Alkai, Northern, Max, Kay, Moore, glad to have you. Good to see you guys. It's a Friday morning. As you can tell, I'm pumped. Today, this whole week has been a wishy-washy week. We've had great days and we've had not so good days. The price action, honestly, before the election has been very crappy. So I'm partial to being careful on my trades here. So let's see what we got. Again, I'll be taking trades on my micro account. And is my micro screen working? It's still not. There it goes. Three more, folks. 3 more likes and we'll be good to go. I have to do it based on how many people are in the stream right now. So we got a low number of people in the stream. This is a mitigation block right here. High, low, lower, high, breaking lower. Inside that new week opening gap. We filled a majority of this opening range gap now. It does not need to be completely filled. And if we look at our opening range, we are going to have quite a large opening range like I've mentioned. It's going to be somewhere around there. And this is our first week, our first fair value gap of week, which was on Monday. And you would be surprised on how it's been used so far. Ultimately, if I had a higher time frame target, if I'm looking at the hourly, I like these relatively equal highs sitting up here. We have these two previous day highs sitting right here. The high from October 17th and the high from October 22nd. Relatively smooth. It'd be nice to see those ran. All right, so we got opening bell here in 1 minute. Let's go ahead and make sure we're ready to go. Do we got a 5-minute change in stated delivery here? Where is our swing high? It would be this one. All right, there's our 5-minute change in stated delivery. Let's see if we get a close below that. All right, so we do have an official close. And here's our reaction right now. A bullish reaction. Let's see how that wants to continue here. So we're going to mark our 9:30 open. I'm looking at this right now as manipulation unless it just wants to explode to this previous day high very quickly. And if it wants to explode very high right to there, that's 100% okay with me. That's going to give us an opportunity for a short. Guarantee it. I mean, look how this ran, guys. We didn't even run this low right here. This is great. This is straight. Yeah, no, I'm looking Alki for a gap fill. Here's the 30-second. New day, opening gap the 23rd. Do we run any liquidity yet? Let's open the 5-minute or 15-minute, 1 hour. All right, so we're gonna run that high. Let's, I forgot I need to mark my highs and lows on my, on ES here. All right, there's previous day high right there. Let's see how aggressive this really wants to be. Really, if we're gonna continue higher to potentially run for these relatively equal previous day highs sitting way up here, sitting at 20,600-ish, the 600 levels, then I need to see the previous day high right here, this one at 542, find support. But right now we wick below it, close, we have a new candle, and let's see how that reacts here. Still no fair value gap even on the 30-second. We don't count this big candle here. Some would call this a turtle soup. I'm looking for this play right here. I'm looking for something like that. That's 100 handles right now.
Order submitted.
I'm going to take a small short right here with a tight stop loss. Just to see if we can get a reaction right here. If it stops me out, I'm okay with that. All right, stopped out. I wanted to try that. We had two candles that were going down like that. I wanted to try a run on that. That's why I didn't call it out, but I wanted to try it, see if we were going to get some type of reaction right here. We had three candles basically closing below with no aggression, and then you can see this candle right here. So it's obvious we still have higher to go, and we're just going to wait for that. My previous day high is incorrect. Oh, yeah, that's a London high. I apologize. Right there. I think that was London high. That's what that was. I would have done the same thing. But thanks for that Charles. I really like these levels here. That's just, look how smooth that is. That's just too straight. So for me, I'm like, where's my short? That's all that I'm thinking about right now is where's my short? Where do I feel confident that we could take a lower trade lower? So not a single fair value gap. We may have a tiny one right here. I'm hoping that it closes that, because I really don't like that at all. We're so close to these previous day highs, it's hard to want to take a short. Only reason I did that was this level here and how we closed in these three candles. These three candles, I was like, I'm willing to take a shot and see if we can get a short here. We didn't. It would have been nice if it worked out. If we're going to see higher prices, this London high needs to find support, which also is around an order block. We want this find support. And if I am going to take a long, it needs to be an obvious long. There's not a fair value gap in here that is obvious. So we are not... Where's my high? Potentially looking at, I apologize guys, my camera went out. Sometimes it's been doing that. I see the beginnings of a market maker sell model, which would be nice. I don't think I see a trend day. I mean, we don't really have any crazy news. Today is Friday. We have revised consumer sentiment at 10 a.m., which is orange folder news. So, take that for what it's worth. How was the rest of your guys' day yesterday? Did you guys trade at all? I mean, it was a horrendous day. It was definitely a what I'm coining as a fake PD day, a fake PD break day, meaning it didn't break a previous day high or low. What do we think? Do we think this is actually going to run? Do you guys think this is going to run? Good job, Northern. I think so too. Yeah, we could have took this 30-second that was sitting in here. Right there. It didn't run this slow though. That's the only thing I don't like about it. I'm really having to exercise self-discipline here because I really just want to go long right now. You know what, YubTub? If we look at the weekly candle, see, I need to reread, go through his stuff. I thought it was supposed to be a full-bodied candle and it retraces to 20 to 30%. If it does retrace, other people are suggesting that it should retrace from its high and low. It will end somewhere around here. So opening price, somewhere around this level right here, 20,450, which is about 20%, 20 to 30%. So it could be an option. I'm just not sure. I so want to go long right now. I'm not going to do it. And I mean, I could have went long down here and it would have worked, right? It's going to go. It's going to break. Here it is. If it doesn't, it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't and it retraces back down to this level here. But it didn't wick down into this fair value gap yet. We do have our first fair value gap sitting right here. Would you guys call that our first fair value gap? Or would you guys call the 937 Oh, I'm on the 32nd. This isn't right. Yeah, I would. There's our, there it is. Next level is our previous day high sitting here. And then we have a previous week high. Now, it wouldn't surprise me, we could go all the way up here and then close back down here. I'm treating this as a market maker buy model or sell model, and we're on the buy side of the curve right now. See, if I was looking at a long, I don't know if I'd want to be in it now. I think we go higher still. I need to find a retracement that I can take in. Yeah, well, we are the remainder of that fair value gap. Sandra is right there. That's the remainder of it. It is the 10 a.m. macro time. It is 9:50 right now. I'd like to see if we get a high put somewhere in here. So assuming we could see let's see if this 948 is a high. You can tell just by the momentum difference, it's definitely changed here compared to here. Let's see if it wants to continue higher or not. We did tap into this fair value gap right here. Did create an order block, potential order block. We need to close above it in 4 seconds. Okay, we do have a close above, creating an order block right here. We have a volume imbalance that we should see the price come down into. This is could be considered an institutional order flow entry drill. We really should see it expand away right here. Well, I want to see if it's going to fill this volume imbalance first. Jesse, yes, I agree. Let's see if we can get a nice little setup here. Even though we got good price action, don't get pulled in with FOMO on missing out on a trade, all this price action. It's easy. I missed out on all this run, and there'll be something else for us if you haven't taken a trade yet. I see a pop right here. Way to go, Jesse. It's a long time. So you're saying a 3-hour trade? Is that what you took? A 3-hour trade? All right, so see how we wick this high but close red? Still impressive to be able to hold a trade that long. Nice job. We ran into this order block, so I'm looking at this as a propulsion block. If we are wanting to go higher, this is the candle or the next one that should start moving and being aggressive. We have the body right here. It matches, right? All right, there's the little pop, full-bodied candle. This should also, I would say, this should go as well. I'm going to take part of that trade, I think. I'm going to move my stop to break even now and see if we can get this push. See if it wants to give it to us now. If it doesn't give it to us, it's fine. I got my stop at break even and I am good to let this run. I want to see if it wants to run to this next previous high, which is sitting way up here. Sitting right there. I need at least 10 handles if I'm going to even take something. $20 handles right here. Should I? I don't know if I want to take it yet. Because I'm pretty confident that it wants to go higher. But I'll take some because that is the wise decision to do. You get a pullback right here. Nice. Come on. We'll sell one more there. We're at almost 30, about 30 handles right here. I'm going to take one more off there because I expect some type of pullback before we hit that high. We may not even want to hit that high. And I'm going to lock in 20 handles for my 43. I'm not going to let it go below that. And to be honest, we have a weekly high sitting up here. So if it wants to go, I'll let it run to the weekly high, which is sitting right here. 20,688, which is also the low of the fair value gap, the daily fair value gap of the unfilled portion. So we're going to see if it wants to run that high. But I'm not going to let it go below 20. Gonna raise it up to 30, just under 30 handles. After that explosive move higher, I do not want to see it retrace. Honestly, it needs to close above this previous day high. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Come on, there we go. Come on. Hit it. Buy it. There it is, folks. Thank you, Sandra. Good, solid trade right there. Now, the next thing that goes in my mind is, ooh, I can't wait to do that with 5 minis. Oh. I have a contract on somewhere. I don't think I changed that. Did I? I don't think I changed it. It put me in a position for whatever reason. That's right. That would have been a that'd have been like a $5,000 trade if when I get up to that size. Man, you can just feel the difference between days like this and days that are not like this. Look at that. I would not be taking anything else, folks. We do have one more high. ES also hit its previous day high. It has another previous day high that it could reach for. But when we look at the daily on the daily time frame, really our next one is 200 handles away. Good morning, Deborah. Way to go, Northern. So, for those of you that Nice reaction right here from that high. For those of you that weren't at the beginning, why we got in this trade, I got this on a propulsion block. That was my entry. Was assuming this candle was going to be a propulsion block. We had an order block. We had another order block form right here. And an order block that overlaps with an original order block is called a proportion block. And when this candle closes or starts moving above this level, I took the long with the expectation we should run higher to this high and this high right here. So it wasn't my model that I normally teach. This was just reading based on order flow and watching just all of this and being like, holy cow, this is running. We found support here on this fair value gap and this previous day high right here and didn't want to go lower, and we moved higher, creating this order block. And that's kind of what gave me the initial idea that we should see a nice move higher. Northern, I don't explain that. Also got two inside bars after each other. Now, as fast as this went up, I expect it to come down because this is too nice over here, folks. This will be ran. This is not going to stay like this. That just won't. So for me, looking at a 5-minute time frame, this is my 5-minute change in state of delivery. I want to see it close below. When we close below this level on the 5-minute time frame, it's gonna give me enough confidence to start looking for something short. Oh, these two candles, yes. That's what I want to see. I want to see a higher high put in here. We could reach for the midpoint. We could reach up all the way up here. I don't know where we go, but I want to see something higher here. And then a break lower. That's what I would prefer. So the trade that we took, it was from the entry to the final exit was a 57 handle move. 57 handles is what we got on that. That is a breaker right there. No, not a breaker. No, I don't like that. At this point, it can go higher. I don't care if it keeps going up. I won't take anything higher. I will only wait for a change in state of delivery on the 5 or 15 minute and use that as confirmation that we're moving the other direction. Yeah, I mean, you could use that. For me, I need a market structure shift and or a change in state of delivery. I mean, because we had an inside bar right here at 905, and that just kept going higher. So I want to make sure I get this is what I'm looking for, change in state of delivery. We still got 2 minutes left. Now the difference between that at 905 and this one is we're at a key level. So I totally recognize that. The 905, we're not at any significant level. This would be a nice short right there. Assuming a market structure shift. We got relatively equal lows. I just don't like doing it off of a market structure shift. I want the change in state of delivery. The 15-minute also is about to close. In 50 seconds. Let's see if we get this. Yeah, this would be a nice, assuming that we're going to get that, that would have been a nice trade entry right there. It's not going to give it to us. No 5-minute entry. No 5-minute change in state of delivery. Dang it. This also could be viewed as a long. We swept these lows and we made, I don't like this right here. We basically made relatively equal lows. So I personally would not take this because of the equal lows and because we hit a key level. Lower probability, not my style. But we want to see it respect the discount portion. Stay in the discount portion of the fair value gap. That's what we want to see. So candles like wicks like this are very nice to see. It's a good order block rejection too, right here. Order block overlapping with that. We're also outside of the macro time. This could just go outside of the macro time. It's 10:18. But part of me wants to wait. I mean, we got a lot. There's a lot of room here to grab some of this. I mean, we're talking, how many handles is that? I mean, we're talking a lot from where we're at. 200 handles. So I don't need to get it at the top. I don't need to get it at the top. I just need to see my model. I need to see my confirmation. I don't need 200. I'll take 50. I'll take 20. 30. You just, I don't need it all. I mean, I want it all, but I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to take what the Lord wants to give me. But more importantly, I have to wait. I got to wait for that 5-minute change in state of delivery. Here's a nice, quick, easy short, a long right here. You can take an easy small long right there when it closes. To show you guys, I'll take one contract. All right, there's my long. Once we hit that high, you move your stop to break even. So break even's right there. It might be stopped out, but that's how you can get a quick, easy long like that. See if it keeps us or if it stops us out. But those are easy longs. When you got a fair value gap right here with a really short high, those are easy break-even trades where you can move your stop to break even fairly quickly. Sometimes you're stopped out really quick. Sometimes you can ride it. Same with this next one here, right? Same concept. Now that we ran liquidity and we saw some aggression, not just creeping higher, we can consider this as a long and move our stops to break even fairly quickly once we move there. But based on us closing green on the 5-minute and not closing below that 5-minute change in state of delivery, we might see some higher prices. Those were just easy longs that you can take. This would be another one. It's just too close right now to the high. It would need to be right next to the open for me to do that, because we could go close right here and retrace all the way down here, and I wouldn't want to be in that. So there's your entry. Too high. There's your break even. Break even's right now. This actually would be working right now, and it would have worked out. There would have been your trade. So you see how that worked? When you got these spots where you can move your break even really quickly, it can make for a risk-free trade, and you can capture some of these longs when you're in premium. It's not something you always want to take. It's not something you always want to take because it could just go against you right away. You just need to make sure you're in a bullish environment, and we obviously are in a very bullish environment. I wish I didn't get stopped out on that first one. I would have held that. So that was really a great lesson for us to really look at. I would have taken this one if we were closer to here, and if it happened on this candle, on the 1020 candle, I would have taken that 100%. I would have been in that trade. We swept these equal lows. We were aggressive here, aggressive there. I would have taken that for the long, but it closed right beneath it, and then closed right next to this high. Right, entry, break even as soon as you hit that high, and then it just exploded. So that would have worked. I'm not a fan of taking a trade that close, because your break even is so, I mean, it's basically a handle. So but it was good price action. It was a good reading of price action for us. Now this is what I wanted to see. I mentioned that before. I said I wanted to see this high, low. I wanted to see the higher high and then break lower and something like that. That's what I wanted to see. And so far, it looks as if we're maybe getting that. I would consider this 2-minute short right here if it's aggressive. Closing beneath here in a candle or two. I would consider that, but it would need to be right now after we sweep this high. I would not want to take it us running higher and then coming back down. I want to see this as another sweep of liquidity before they change directions. That's all I want to see from this. So Northern, I thought you said you were going short. Gotcha. For those of you that are here, I want to make sure I mention at least one time in the streams I have a wait list. We are going to be launching our Purpose-Driven Trader Academy and Discord, and that is going to be launching next month. Anybody that joins the wait list, they will get first access, and they will also get the lowest price that will ever be. So if you would like or considering wanting to be a part of a day trading community, where we stand for things of the kingdom, believer-based, very uplifting, encouraging, but very intentional and focused on becoming profitable traders. Join the waitlist. Join the waitlist. It's in the description of this video. I'll also drop it in this chat. So if you would like, you can join it. There's no commitment or obligation to do anything. It's just an opportunity if you would like to get access early. Not too early, but you would like to get it at the lowest price it will ever be. It will never be at that price again. It will be about 5 days. 5 days at that price, and then after that I release it to the public. And that will be at a higher, different price moving forward. So I dropped the link right there. Just join the waitlist. I'll be emailing you guys the link when I have everything ready. It will probably be middle of next month or close to Black Friday. At the latest, Black Friday is kind of what I'm looking at. So right there, if you guys are interested. I said I wanted it. I would be interested if it broke this 2 minute. It started being aggressive, but it kind of stopped inside that 2 minute fair value gap, and then now is kind of just giving more structure. I still see this as potentially rolling over. I still see this rolling over for sure. And just FYI, a couple of you guys have signed up twice. I don't know if you intended to or not, but I got a couple people that signed up twice. A Travis and a David. So let's talk about our previous day highs and lows here, okay? So let's zoom out. Let's get a 15-minute perspective here. I really don't care about that high. That was already ran. All right, so we have, this was our previous day high. And this is our previous day low. I don't know why I put that on there. That needs to be changed. And that's our previous day low. So the question we need to ask ourselves is this going to be a single PD break day? Or is this going to be a double PD break day? If it's a single PD break day, the lowest price I see us potentially going to is midnight open. That would be where I would want to terminate my trade for a low. If we see this as a double PD break day where we've broken the previous day high right here, make sure you guys can see it. You might not be able to see it. Let me move it up. So if we see this as a double PD break day, where we break this high right here, and then we come back and break this low, I don't see that as a possibility at this time. So I'm not looking at that. So I'm considering this a single PD break day, where we've broke through the previous day high. It doesn't mean we stay up here, but we could come back down here or leave this for later too. So this could be the beginning of a market maker sell model. And if it's the beginning of a market maker sell model, I'm looking at in context of, a much higher time frame where we may be reaching up here and then coming back down. So middle of next week, so to speak. And as far as why next week, well, next week, let's see what we got for news next week. So right now we're sitting waiting, guys. We're gonna do some research, put together an analysis. So Monday would be a no news day. Tuesday, we got consumer confidence, red folder news, and JOLTS. JOLTS tends to have reactions. I've seen huge movement on JOLTS. I've seen little movement on JOLTS. So we got a Tuesday, that's October 29th. And then Wednesday, we got non-farm payroll change, ADP, and advanced GDP at 8:30. And then on Thursday, we got core PCE, price index, at 8:30 on Thursday, October 31st. And then Friday, we got non-farm payroll for November 1st. So next week, we have some big news events. So the question we got to figure out is, where is news going to want to take price? Now, news tends to just be a big candle, higher or lower, and then it continues in that direction, or it reverses. So when I'm looking at these levels, we've hit the previous day, the fair value gap, the daily fair value gap. Do we want to go higher, or are we going to turn now? If we don't turn now and we continue higher, then we got to start figuring out what our opportunities are in the future. If we turn now, then I'm looking more in context to our daily range and looking at our London low and our midnight open and the new day opening gap at 1025 as our opportunity. We also have this opening range gap sitting right here that we have not gone into at all. So all of this is a draw on liquidity that I personally would like to see today. So this is just me putting together my ideas. Here's 930 price, the beginning of our opening range gap right there. So this is our first opportunity. I mean, if we ran this 930 price, I don't even know if I'd want to sell. Because if we get into this opening range, we're probably going to run to at least the midpoint. And that midpoint is overlapping with the weekly fair value gap, the first weekly fair value gap on the 1 minute chart. So this looks like an area of interest for me. Earnings report also next week. Correct. So now we're coming up to the 11 a.m. macro. Let's see if we get anything with the 11 a.m. macro. ES still looks like it wants to run for its highs. And would that be an all-time high? That would not be an all-time high. It's just a previous day high. But it literally bounced off. It literally bounced off its previous day high right here. I want to see if it wants to reach for this. Obviously, if ES is reaching for this, we're going to see higher prices on NQ. This is ES right here, what ES looks like on the hourly. And then this would be a previous day high sitting here as well for Monday. And then this is equal highs for a previous day high on Friday. So what I'm trying to do here is look at the correlating indices, which is ES in this case. You could also do YM, but I'm using ES, to see what could be the further draw for it to go higher. And then if we do hit one of these levels and we start being aggressive the other direction, I can have more confidence that we actually might run away because ES and NQ both hit a key level. Now, sometimes you might get SMTs, which if you get an SMT, that's even better. But that's kind of what I'm doing with ES right now. $720. What's at $720? You know, I do want to see where the weekly is. Yeah, the weekly candle on ES has not hit anything. All right, there's the 2-minute close right there. Stop would need to be a break even already. I'm going to wait for this 1-minute close. If we can get the 1-minute close. So 1 minute didn't close for us. We did fill the last fair value gap in this price leg right here. Let's see if it wants to be aggressive right here. If it's aggressive, you can use this 1 minute fair value gap to this swing high. Got a breaker right here. I did click the button, but it didn't fill me. Son of a gun. We did get a change in state of delivery on the 5-minute. I'm just now seeing that. Son of a gun. Right here. I'm not going to take this. I need to see it find resistance. This could just keep pushing higher. We're going to see if it wants to go right there. I might have been a little too emotional on that. Running for that low. Sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't on there, guys. This needs to go now. I want to see a big expansion here. I'm going to go for 10 handles and then I'm going to sell. I'm going to sell there for 20 handles. Now I'm expecting it to come back up. That's why I wanted to do that. Because look how long it took this. I don't think it's just going to drop all of a sudden. I think we may get some here and then come back up to these levels. That's why I wanted to sell that. So we have that 5-minute change in state of delivery that took place. And now we have potentially breaker levels here. I don't know if it's that this is a green doji candle. That's after sweeping a low. Interesting. I'm not taking a long off of this because in my mind I got a market structure shift and a change in state of delivery. So the only way I probably would consider a long is if it's actually very aggressive and it closes above something like this. But I'm already looking for lower prices. That's what I want. So to me, this is getting people out of these shorts, trying to make people think we're going long again, and then it just melts again. That's how I'm viewing this. Let's see if it wants to find. Now, that to me, this is irrelevant, but we're going to hold it there. Closed right on that previous day high. See that? Right on that level. Let's see where 50% is. So we are, it came up all the way to 50%, almost to the tick. Probably to the tick, and now it's melting again. See if we got a 30-second. I would like it to get up into premium for a short. If I'm going to take a short, that's where I'd like to go. We also have a 5-minute change in state of, another change in state of delivery on the 5-minute. Let me look on the 15-minute. Do we got anything? So 6 minutes left on the 15-minute candle to see if we get a change in state of delivery, which will be 11 a.m. Okay, so for those of you that are just joining, we've taken 2 trades. I take that back. I did a trial trade. I wanted to see if I could take a short off of the London highs. That went for a small loss. Then we took a 57 handle win, running up to the weekly high. And then I showed you guys a 1-minute inversion that you can take for an easy break even. Move your stop to break even trade. That ended up stopping out at break even, and then we took went short for about 20 handles off of the change in state of delivery that we saw. What's up, Viking? So basically we are we're 2 for 3. 2 for 3 with a break even in there. And if price action continues to be as nice as it is, we should get another trade. We just need to wait and know that we are, in fact, moving lower. Last thing we want is thinking we're moving lower, go short here, and it just runs higher. We are in a very bullish environment. I just see this 930 level here is way too smooth with this opening range gap, the new day opening gap, London low, and midnight open all down here that have not been touched at all. That's just, in my mind, screaming, hey, I'm going to head that direction. Now, the thing we got to be careful about, though, folks, is we've had some great trades so far, and we can't let the success get to our heads. We can't let the success manipulate us into thinking we have the market figured out and we can just take a trade because we're in flow right now. We still need to do technical analysis. We need to make sure we're taking low risk trades. We need to make sure we're managing trades correctly and not overlooking something because we know it's going to drop, right? That's the next pride. We do not want to allow pride to start creeping in, thinking we have it all figured out, and then we end up losing half of our profits as a result of it. We don't want that. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have great analysis, still take a trade and take a loss. Anytime you're willing to put a trade on, you're accepting that risk. But I just want to make sure I'm taking that risk based on logical, thought through thinking instead of just emotional, oh yeah, the market's going to drop. I'm in flow. I don't want to take a trade based off that. The market looks heavy. It looks as if it wants to run lower. I'm looking at referencing the 1 minute, but I still want to make sure that's going to be the case. So we got 2 minutes before we close below this 15-minute change in state of delivery. This is the candle that is, in my mind, tells me everything. Especially on the 15-minute, because very rarely will you get a key level, a change in state of delivery on a 15-minute and then run the other direction. Now, I want you guys to know, here's an example of that, of what I just said not working out. Here's the previous day high on a 15-minute level. We close below it, change in state of delivery, and then we start moving higher. Now, what's the difference between this change in state of delivery and one that's going to be up here, potentially right here in the next 2 minutes? That is time. This is 3:45 a.m. Now, it is London, but London will run liquidity and then change direction. It doesn't run big very often. Usually it will run liquidity and then change directions. In this case, it had a large retracement. So I don't look at that as too concerning. It does not also mean that we get in long or short as soon as we get a change in state of delivery. Right now, look at that. It's closing. It's moving higher at this point. If you guys are appreciating the commentary, hit the like button for me. I would be amazing. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are joining for the first time or you are here, all this is free. Everything we do here is free as far as the stream goes. If you'd like to support the channel, you can use the code DTJ to get your funded or eval account with Apex. They're about 80% off right now. That code is DTJ. All right, so no close on that 15-minute. It's 11 a.m. Bullish plays are still in play. We did get a 5-minute change in state of delivery, but what happened when we got this 5-minute change in state of delivery? We filled fair value gaps, 5-minute fair value gaps. So we did its job. After we run liquidity from a 5-minute change in state of delivery, we can't say, oh, well, we had a 5-minute change in state of delivery. Why aren't we continuing lower? We don't have to. We look at the 5-minute change in state of delivery in regards to liquidity. Where's the closest portion of liquidity? Right here. Could this continue lower? Absolutely. But it doesn't have to. When I look at reading order flow, this 5-minute change in state of delivery right here was completed as soon as we hit this level, and we got some bonus by filling this fair value gap in this one right here. Anytime I get a flash of a candle, so for those of you that are joining, I went short right here at 1046. We had this retracement, and we went down here, and as soon as this candle opened, it literally flashed 20 handles for us. And then by the end of that candle, it took away everything. I'm not going to lie. When I see a flash of a price like that, I'm typically going to take it, because too many times it's evaporated on me and ran against me. Many times I will take that quick, easy flash of money, and then if price is showing me it wants to not, or if it wants to continue lower, I might look at that as a re-entry. Yeah. Caught that short on 620. Yeah. And I did too. And you want to get rid of it as soon as possible. So we just went into this fair value gap that we marked up here. This is considered a model 2022. High, low, higher, high. We break lower. Come back up into the fair value gap. There's not another single fair value gap above here, so this is the only place. If we close above this, we have to run these highs. We have to run this liquidity. So for me, I'm looking now at this 1 minute fair value gap sitting right here, and I'm looking at that as an opportunity for a short. Break even would be right here. Now I would have there's a couple things. I liked how it respected this discount portion of this 1 minute fair value gap. I don't like that it didn't grab this high. I would have liked that, but I guess it doesn't have to. It's showing us that it's heavy by not even entering this premium portion of the fair value gap. We'll see if that changes in this candle right here. But we also wicked down into this fair value gap and immediately left it. That is a bullish signal as well. So we're kind of getting mixed signals. This is why we need to wait for closes, and we need to wait for our model specifically so we're not being manipulated either way. I'm open to taking a long here, and I'm open to going short. I think I would prefer going short. I think that's where the biggest move is going to be, simply because we had all of this morning. But I'm not opposed to a long if it shows me it really wants to go higher. And it would have to show me an aggressive candle and a close, not just a wick higher and then thinking that it's going to run without me. I will let it run without me, and I will let it run without me if it wants to go all the way up here in one candle. I will not take that, because it could easily do what happened on this candle at 1049. Run lower and then completely lose its profit. This is why I really prefer the break-even strategy that I use to move my stop to break even to prevent losses. All right, so it looks aggressive. I'm still not doing anything. I don't care. It can go higher. Let it do what it wants to do. Take your emotions out of it and just read order flow. Right now, there's some interesting things I see with order flow. We have, this is our, we have an order block here, another order block here, propulsion block. It did run higher, but then we get another order block into here. We did run higher. Are we going to get another order block right here? Now, not every time when you get a propulsion block should you be going long. The propulsion blocks really work when you're in an environment like this, and you've seen this, okay? When you're in this, propulsion blocks have more of a propensity to fail or not actually be a propulsion block you might think it was one, right? So we've used them very loosely to help us read order flow. The only times if you're going to take them, it needs to be in this type of environment. This environment, I would not be going long on a propulsion block. Okay, this time we did wick above, sweep this high into the unfilled portion of this fair value gap and rejected it. We're still in our macro time. I'm liking this displacement. If we see a continuation of that displacement, that's a short opportunity. The 30-second also has a low right here. A close below this on the 30-second would also work. So I'm watching this time right here. It has 49 seconds left. So when this clock hits 30 seconds, if we are below this level with 30 seconds left, you can take that on a 30-second chart. I'm just holding it on the 1 minute because I want to watch the 1 minute. That's more important to me. So we filled this fair value gap up completely with this candle and basically removed. Now the question is, are we going to leave this and run the other direction? Are we going to be aggressive and move that way? Or are we going to be aggressive and move lower in the next 5 seconds? I would have preferred this to close below and I would have taken that. Now that I've seen this, this is still a possibility if we close below it. Even on the 30-second with this 30-second order block, that would be interesting as well. Okay, it's not giving us that 30-second. Going back to the 1 minute. We do have a high, low, higher, high. We have a breaker with a fair value gap right here. So let's see if it wants to go into this fair value gap like it is right now and then find resistance. Find resistance and then move lower. So this is a breaker now, and the only way I'm taking this breaker is with the confirmation of this 30-second or 1 minute inversion fair value gap. That's the confirmation in my mind. This could just blow right through it and move higher. I'm not interested in a long at this point. I don't think I want to take that long. I think I want to save my powder and save the emotional energy for a short. And I think if I went long on this inversion, I would be questioning my decision. I think I got in too early. Oh, barely closed. Let's see if it wants to go with it. Stop will be as soon as we hit this low right here. I'm not liking how it's sitting there at all. This is our level right there. Dang it, it stopped me out before I could move my... Let's see if it closes above it or not. So that would have been a break-even trade. Or not a break-even trade. That would have been a loss. So that trade didn't work out, and it closed below it. Actually, let me see. I'm going to be pissed if this didn't close below and I took that trade. All right, look at this, guys. This is why it's so important. Wait for the close and make sure you see where it closed. All right, this is the close. That did not close below on that trade that I just took. So I went short. When it actually didn't close. So since I'm green and I took a loss, I'm going to be done for the day. I'm not, and I am unwilling to lose my positions, unwilling to lose the profits that I've made. So when I'm green, one of my rules that I try to live by is if I have a loss, okay, I'll trade. But when I have a win, the next trade, if I have a loss, I'm going to cut it right there and I'm going to be done. So we're going to call that a day on my funded accounts. Now you would not want to go long in this level here because you have this level here that's holding price down. I don't show them daily. I've shown them in the past, Greg. I was up $300 on each account. I have 5 accounts. I do it sometimes because I've been on the other end, Greg, where I've seen people say they have trades and they don't show them. And they don't show them, and you have no idea if they're actually profitable or not. I totally get that, but I don't want this. I'll show what was it? 2 weeks ago I did it. I'd showed my accounts. I wanted people just to know because I've had that thought in the back of my head. But what I don't want this to be. This isn't going to be a signal service of any kind. This is completely and heavily on the education side of things. And I want to teach people. I mean, it's easy. I mean, you can abundantly see that the reading of order flow has been spot on for the most part. This is the only one right here that I got it wrong and I took the loss on it. So, but the concepts, the ICT concepts are unmistakably accurate. They work very, very well. And that's what this channel is all about. It's about the education. It's about building a trading community of believers and people that want to grow in their knowledge of day trading as well as in the kingdom of God and be able to use their financial freedom that they get here and make a better world around them. So that's my long answer, Greg. You bet, Jay. That's what this is about. So based on what I'm seeing here, and with the failing of this fair value gap right here, of this inversion, actually, I take that back. This didn't fail. I read it incorrectly. We never closed below this fair value gap. So, and sucky enough, this 30-second did not close below either. There's the 30-second. So, if anything, I read this wrong and I executed poor. My execution was poor on this one. And I'll take ownership of that. I saw this and I'm like, oh, there it is. But I'm like, dang, you got to zoom way in there just to see where it's at. I'm trading micros. I trade micros right now. I have 5 accounts. My goal is to get up to 10, 15, then 20. But if you weren't here earlier, Greg, I had 10 accounts before. In July, I had a doozy of an event. I left a limit order on, and I wasn't there. It filled, and it took all my accounts just about to failing status. It failed some of them and got it extremely close to some of the others, and I ended up losing those accounts. And I had 10 of them back in July. So since July, I've had to rebuild and start basically back from nothing and rebuild those accounts. So I have 5 right now, and I'm not going to be getting any more until I get those to where I want them to be as far as payout status. I've had 3 payouts so far, and want to build those higher. Greg, I use Apex. I trade on Apex. There's a couple reasons why I chose them. My favorite features on them are 2 things. One, all my performance accounts are lifetime accounts. I paid one time for them for $85, and as long as I don't blow the account, I'll never pay anything again, or until they move me over to into a live account. And I can copy trade 20 of those accounts. So I use Apex. Right now it's 80% off. If you want to use, I have a code for it. It's 80% off. The code's DTJ. I have it tagged at the top of the chart. But if you don't like Apex or you prefer another one, you can use, I've traded my funded futures. Very similar. Those are great. People have had great success with them as well. Only thing I don't like is you do pay a monthly fee for those, however long you hold them. So it's a monthly subscription that you pay for, and I didn't want that. What was the other one? Top Step, is that the other one? I personally haven't used Top Step, so I can't really speak much about Top Step. So, Alkai, you mentioned choppy. I don't know quite yet, because even this 1 minute that I took did not actually close below it. And we haven't closed above this fair value gap either. So I'm not necessarily convinced it's choppy. This is what consolidation looks like, and we just got to know when not to trade in consolidation. I thought, based on these candles here, that we were going to close below. We didn't close below, and I got slapped in the face for it. And that's my fault. Mike, I think my funded futures monthly payment goes away after getting funded. Can anybody else confirm that? I don't know because I haven't gone that far with my funded futures. That'd be good to know though, Mike. Carmen, I do think do you use Rhythmic or Tradevate for Apex? I use Tradevate. I moved everything to Tradevate. My cash accounts, everything that I have is with Tradevate. I do like their commissions that they have over at Tradevate. They're reasonable. They're lower, micros are low, and then if you pay like a monthly membership with them for your live account, you can actually get even lower commissions. I don't pay that right now because I do trade my cash account, but I don't trade as much as I trade my funded accounts. Richard, you love Top Step. They pay out. They fix the mistakes when it's their fault. That's great. Apex, they finally got to the point where they're doing that. And they did a 3.0 release that has been huge. They gave a lot of clarity to a lot of the issues people were having and a lot of the complaints people were having. And they gave the reasons on why those people were complaining and why they didn't get their payouts. They explained all of that. And after they explained, I'm like, that totally makes sense. Yeah, I wouldn't, if I'm Apex, I wouldn't be paying those people. Some of these traders, they would have, their accounts would be green, but they would let their accounts be in drawdown by like $2,000. And then it comes back up, it gets to green and they make $100 profits with a drawdown, with an unrealized drawdown of $2,000. That's insane. That's horrible risk management. They don't want to reward poor risk management. So they clarified that. They worked on their payout speeds. And so far, I haven't had to do any videos or anything like that other people have been talking about. So, Alki, there is a big issue now with fast track trading. Have I heard? No, can you expand a little bit on it? Share a little bit, and maybe I have, and I just haven't heard that term used. Jesse, love Top Step as well. Daily loss limit lockout is awesome for newbies like me. You can also do that with Apex. We can do that with Tradevate. You can do that on Tradevate. For anybody that's looking, you can do it on Tradevate. So let me show you how you can do it. Screen share. Let's go into here real quick. So if you go up to your account and you log into your account, you will see, oh no, it's not this one. If you go under accounts settings on the far right, you're going to see your profile and preferences and all of that. Well, under accounts, you can set your risk management on where you want it to be. What you withdraw, your risk settings, if you have a daily loss limit, a weekly loss limit, your daily profit trigger. If you hit a certain dollar amount, it will sell the trade for you. A weekly profit trigger, when you hit it, you're done. So you can do an end of day trailing max drawdown, real time trade max drawdown. You can limit the amount of contracts that you can take, so you can't take extra contracts. Really helpful when you are starting out. You can put all of the trading train tracks around you so that you are not doing anything you shouldn't be doing. FTT. Is FTT what? Oh, is that the fast track trading? They denied $10 million because they created new retroactive rules. Yeah, that's annoying. That would be frustrating. That did not close, but it looks like it's going to run. Let's see if it closes. That's a lot of volatility. There we go. Oh, don't retrace back on me. I'm taking this in my personal account. I want to see this push lower right now. All right, I sold most of my position there. I'm going to let this play out to see if it, or it might stop me. Yeah, I got stopped out at break even for the rest of my position. Folks, we're going to call it a day here. I want to be green going into the weekend. Overall, my feeling for the week, I'm pretty sure I'm ending the week slightly green. Not very much. Monday, I think we had losses on Tuesday and Thursday. And we were green on Monday, Wednesday, and today. So 3 out of the 5 days we were green, but so I'm green, but not significantly like I normally am, which was a really wonky week. And yesterday really was the day that kind of really got me frustrated because we had that fake PD day, that fake breakout day. We didn't have any types of breakouts in here. For breakouts of previous day low or previous day high, we stayed in this consolidated range, which really sucked. So knowing when to trade is very important. And knowing when to walk away. Today was a great day. I still think there's going to be some bigger moves moving lower. I was hoping that this was going to be it, and so I got in. Holding that. Got in on this momentum here, and then started there. It didn't give it completely to us, but we do have this inversion right here on the 1 minute. See if it wants to run up here. Mike, I just double checked on my Funded Futures Discord about the monthly fee. If you get a funded starter plan, do you still have to pay the monthly fee? No monthly payment once funded. Okay, that's good to know. Thanks, Carmen. Thanks for adding that, Mike. I had that wrong, so I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, it's 10:30 my time right now. I have to run a couple errands for my son. I got to get him some sushi for his party at school. So we're going to call it a day here, folks. God bless you. Have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for being here. Honestly, guys, thank you for being here. Thanks for the support. I'm glad that you guys are finding value in the channel, and I really appreciate the community so far. I'm really excited what's to come next month with the with a purpose-driven trader academy and the Discord to kind of launch our little community. So I'm excited what God wants to do with that. So God bless you guys. Thanks for being here. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.